Hey everyone, Andy from Singletrack magazine, and today, believe it or not, is News Desk 10, I think, unless we find out it's 11. But anyway, we're going to say it's News Desk 10. Now, if you were watching the World Cup and our coverage of the World Cup last weekend, the Maribor World Cup in Slovenia, you'll have seen that Danny Hart came second and Loic Brony came first. The big news there is, though, both of those riders were running what Will would call a mullet bike. And what we mean by that is it's got a big wheel on the front, a 29er on the front, and a 27.5 on the rear. Now, I know it's only the first race in the season. We've got plenty more races to go, but already people are saying, is this the future of mountain biking? Are we going to see more of these bikes with a big wheel on the front and a small wheel on the rear? To be honest, I think it's too soon to say. But Aaron Gwyn did come really far down the field on a double 29er, and so did Omari Pirion. And Greg Bernard didn't even qualify. So there may be something in it, there might not be. We might see other riders experimenting with that setup. We might see Hart and Loic Brony running different wheel sizes for different races. But my question is, who's going to be the first to put a 27.5 in the front and a 29 in the rear? Anyway, next one. More downhill news, and this is kind of like retro new news. So I'm going to say this name wrong because I cannot pronounce it. Karpio. Now, this brand has been around for like ever since I started mountain biking. Karpio have been making really crazy bikes. If you remember Josh Bender, he's basically the guy, he's the reason why we had the Red Bull Rampage. He was a bit of a nutter, still is, I imagine. He would just launch himself off cliffs on bikes, and Karpio, a Polish brand, made him the weirdest bike ever. It was super short wheelbase, had about 12 inches of travel front and rear. Anyway, that brand, they disappeared. But now they're slowly coming back into the limelight again, and they've built this prototype. It's their first 2.9er downhill bike. It looks very much like a Karpio of old. It's got that massive down tube. It's got a finish that is unpainted finished. I'm not sure if it's heat treated because Karpio were known for not heat treating their frames for some reason. So I'm not sure if that's the case with this. But basically, this is the new Armageddon. So it's got 2.9er wheels. It's got all new geometry. It's not mega long. It's only 470mm reach for an extra large, which is pretty small, really, by today's day and age. But it does have a 460 chainstay length, so it should be really, really stable. I've spoken to Jan at Karpio, Mr. Karpio, and he says that his tester, who's been testing this bike, already shaved 25 seconds off a 7-minute run. If that's true, that's nuts. That is absolutely nuts. We don't know if this is going to go into production. We're going to find out in summer later this year. If it does come out, it won't be till 2020, but watch this space. We'll have more news of that pretty soon. All right, more new bike news, and this is closer to home. From Yorkshire, OnOne bikes. OnOne have basically Brant Richards, who was the original OnOne, he's gone back to the company, and he's designing tons of new bikes for OnOne. And by my count, they've got 15 new bikes on the way, which is, that's pretty incredible. So the range will include new touring bikes, there's a around the world bike, but what we're really interested in are these new hardtails. So we've got one called the Big Dog, which is shown here with these blue containers. It's a steel frame, super slack, super low, 29-inch wheels. I'm not really sure on the travel, I think it's 140mm travel. This is the Big Dog. It's in production now, so it should be on sale soon. It kind of reminds me of the old 456, but as a 2.9er. And knowing OnOne, it's going to be pretty affordable. It's going to be, really, really competitive on pricing. Another interesting frame is this. It's the Jumping Jack Flash reissue. Now, if you'll remember, years and years ago, Planet X had this dirt jump frame, the Jumping Jack Flash. This is the reissued version. It's been designed to run larger wheels, so you can build it up as a trail bike, an enduro bike, a cross-country bike if you like. But it's kind of retro still because it still has canty mounts on the back, so you could still run it with cantilever brakes or V-brakes if you really wanted to. So that's pretty interesting. Other interesting bikes are a new Scandal in titanium and aluminium, and there's tons. So basically head over to Singletrack and you'll find a list of all 15 bikes that are being worked on. So pretty interesting stuff there. Other new bike news is the Ibis Ripley. Now, Chips was over in America? Yeah, America. He was in America. Yeah. Yeah? Sorry? Santa Cruz. He was in Santa Cruz. The place, not the place. Yeah, the place. Anyway, and he had a look at the Ibis Ripley when it was launched. And it's a huge change compared to the 3rd generation. This 4th generation Ripley is, I'm going to say it again, it's getting really annoying now, longer, lower, slacker. Yeah. For a large, it's 475, which is pretty impressive. That's on par with Transition and not really what we expect to see from Ibis. It's still a 120mm travel bike, so it's a short travel bike. It's 29-inch wheels. It's been redesigned and rejigged, so it runs a 44mm offset fork. If you don't know what offset is, head over to Singletrack. Will has done a massive article on explaining offset. It looks like a really, really cool bike, and I'm sure Chips is eager to get on one. It looks like a baby Ripmo. So yeah, if a super slack, short travel, playful, carbon fiber US bike is for you, check out the new Ripley. And finally, news today is Shimano have basically, they've done a quiet rollout of a new battery. Now, I've done an article over on Singletrack World already, and I've done a separate video explaining this. Basically, Shimano they decided they've create their own super compact battery that will fit in the down tube of an e-MTB. Their previous internal battery was massive. Their external battery is too big to go in a down tube, even though Intense did try. So they've created something super compact, and they're saying it has improved usability. It just means that they're hoping more people will use it. It's so new that the Shimano website doesn't even have a photo of it, so we don't know what the battery itself will look like. All we know is it's much more compact. It'll fit in the down tube of your of new e-MTBs, and it means that alloy bikes that previously had the battery on top of the down tube will now have them inside the down tube. So we'll have to wait and see who will be first with this battery, which is called the BT E8035. Very catchy name. And that's it. That's all the news. No super exciting news unless you love batteries or you love OnOnes or mullets. That's it. Okay. See you all next week for number 11. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't put your thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up if you like this video. And if you have any questions, pop them below and I will try to answer them quickly. See you all soon. Bye-bye.